You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. The Hazelton launch box will be undergoing upgrades thanks to a grant. WYLN's Mackenzie Ocker has the details.
Senator Bob Casey came to the Hazelton Launchbox to present a $200,000 grant from the American Recovery Act. The grant will be used to renovate the second floor of the Launchbox for small businesses to lease and for Penn State Hazelton students.
These dollars are specific to Hazelton in this project, and interestingly, we haven't been able to do this for the last decade. We're a community like Hazelton, and obviously other communities throughout our state, can come to our office or come to the office of a member of the House of Representatives and make their case as a community about an investment they want to make in a project that community has designated as something that should be the subject of federal investment.
The first floor of the Launchbox holds many rooms where students can come together and share their ideas. Senator Casey touches upon how the second floor will not only be vital to students, but the city of Hazelton as a whole.
These are spaces where people can come together, collaborate, to create jobs, to invent either new inventions or new ideas to create opportunities, and that's what every community is going to need to create that economy of the future.
Before the Launchbox came into existence, it was called the Bingo Building. Since its opening in 2019, 150 small businesses now exist because of it.
It really is flexible space, and it's become a part of that cornerstone revitalization between Wyoming and Laurel with the Art Center and the park, and really kind of put the stamp on as we continue to work towards making it an effective, efficient, and sustainable downtown.
Along with the grant, a mural was showcased today. The mural came about by Mary Veronica Sweeney, who is from Hazelton, along with Penn State Hazelton students.
The mural also was an early collaboration between the Art Center and the Downtown Hazelton Alliance for Progress, and it's actually called the Hazelton Way, and depicts both the history of Hazelton and our roots and family and community, and kind of the bridging together of old traditions and new traditions.
Thanks to Senator Casey, the second floor will be used for entrepreneurs at Penn State Hazelton and will provide jobs in the Hazelton area. Reporting in Hazelton for WYLN News, I'm Mackenzie Ocker.
Thank you, Mackenzie. Hazelton police arrested 2 individuals with active warrants during an early morning traffic stop. Patrol officers pulled over a Chevy Impala occupied by 36-year-old Jonathan Diefendorfer and 33-year-old Megan Welsh. They discovered that the duo had active warrants for their arrests. When police tried to take them into custody, the vehicle took off at a high rate of speed before colliding with another car at the intersection of Diamond Avenue and Lincoln Street. The 2 were arrested and taken to Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazelton for treatment. They were then transported to Luzerne County Central Court to be arraigned on charges of fleeing and eluding, and possession of a controlled substance, and drug paraphernalia. The public voiced their concerns about quality of life issues at last night's Hazelton City Council meeting. Many in the Hispanic community were upset when Councilwoman Lauren Sacco made a comment last month stating that nobody is abiding by the rules when it comes to the quality of life ordinance, and proposed to amend it to make the penalties stiffer. She originally stated that, quote, "If you want to keep breaking the rules and keep living like a slum or pig, go back to wherever you came from," unquote. She later clarified her statement and said she was referring to people who buy properties from out of state, then neglect to take care of them. The Hazelton Advisory Council said in a recent letter that they'll accept Sacco at her word, but called the language counterproductive and hurtful. Many who attended yesterday's meeting believe the community needs to work together, have respect for one another, and educate the public about the quality of life ordinance. It's finally official. Luzerne County has a new full-time manager. Council members voted 9-1 last night to appoint Randy Robertson to the position. Robertson wasn't at the meeting because he's on a temporary assignment as a library director in Durango, Colorado until the end of May. He'll be paid $181,500 annually and will receive $4,000 toward health insurance, $4,800 to cover temporary housing, and up to $15,000 for relocation expenses. Robertson's expected to begin his position on June 1st. Meanwhile, Acting County Manager Romilda Crocomo agreed to serve until Robertson takes over. A retired state police trooper is facing assault charges following a Sunday night domestic dispute. The victim, identified as Catherine Parsons, told Butler Township Police that her husband, 49-year-old Sean Parsons, grabbed her, pushed her into a wall, and hit her before she was able to break free and leave the residence. She also told police he allegedly has a drinking problem and was highly intoxicated when the incident happened. Parsons was charged with simple assault and harassment and posted $25,000 unsecured bail. A preliminary hearing is set for April 19th. Authorities caught the man accused of causing chaos in a New York City subway. Earlier today, police announced that 62-year-old Frank James was a person of interest in a Tuesday rush hour shooting that injured 10 people. Police found weapons at the scene, along with a key and credit card used to rent a U-Haul van. The vehicle was found unoccupied elsewhere in Brooklyn. Witnesses believed to have seen James earlier today at a McDonald's in Manhattan. He was gone by the time police arrived, but they caught up with him later at an East Village neighborhood. He was charged with violating a law that prohibits terrorists and other violent attacks against mass transportation systems. If convicted, he could face life in prison. The Pennsylvania Senate passed 4 bills to assist crime victims with stronger protections, increased support, and improved access to services. Senate Bill 1179 extends the provisions of the Domestic and Sexual Violence Victim Address Confidentiality Act to include victims of child abduction and human trafficking. Senate Bill 118 expands Megan's Law to require offenders convicted of any sex trafficking-related offenses to register. Senate Bill 1040 seeks to ensure that communication with the family of a murder victim takes place before law enforcement publicly releases the victim's or intervener's identity. And Senate Bill 1172 would expand access to sexual assault nurse examiners to better provide quality care for victims. All 4 bills will now advance to the House of Representatives for consideration. The Pennsylvania House voted Tuesday to approve a bill prohibiting transgender girls from competing in girls' school sports. All but 1 Republican and 4 Democrats voted for the proposal to restrict players on K-12 school teams, college sports, intramurals, and club teams sponsored by school entities to either male or female teams based on their reproductive organs, biology, or genetics at birth. The bill, which went to the state Senate for its consideration on a 115-84 vote, would prevent, quote, students of the male sex from playing on athletic teams designated for women or girls. A spokeswoman for Governor Tom Wolf said that he'll veto the bill if it makes it to his desk. The family of a legendary comedian announced his passing earlier today. Gilbert Gottfried was known for his iconic voice and sometimes crude sense of humor. He began doing stand-up at open mic nights around New York City when he was just 15 years old, and later joined the cast of Saturday Night Live in 1980. He was a regular on MTV when it first hit the airwaves, which led to several other television appearances, including The Cosby Show. He graduated from television to the big screen and had memorable roles in films such as Beverly Hills Cop and Problem Child. He's most known for his role as the parrot Iago in Disney's Aladdin and Digit in the PBS children's show Cyberchase. Gilbert Gottfried died of a rare genetic muscle disease that affected his heart at 67 years old. Coming up on Wyln News, more on the latest free COVID testing sites in our area. Plus, it's almost time to vote in Pennsylvania. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the Wyln Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
It's me again, LJ. I'm 9 years old, and tomorrow will be rainy. Get your umbrellas out because it's about to get wet.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
How you doing, everybody? This is Ricardo Santos from Jay Zapata. You remember this old monster? Well, we're moving into a building. It's a big restaurant. Come and check us out. This is what we had on our menu. Regular burrito. We have the taco americano. Let's go with the Mexicans. They don't have a sombrero, but there you go. Corn tortilla, gluten-free. This is the birria tacos, enchiladas, nachos, flan, 3 leches. That is right. Come at 620 Hillside Drive, grand opening for Jay Zapata Mexican Restaurant. Whoop, whoop.
Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969.
Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the midday WYLN News update, posted between noon and 2 p.m. Powered by Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, the all-new emergency room at Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton is nearly double the size. Our updated facility features all private rooms, the latest technology, and a quicker, easier check-in process. Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, your partner in ER care.
The Department of Health announced free COVID-19 testing sites that are open to the public. The Wolf administration partnered with AMI Expeditionary Healthcare to operate 5 location sites across the state. Mid-nasal passage swab PCR tests will be performed for free on a first-come, first-served basis with no appointment necessary. Testing's open to anyone ages 3 and up, and you don't need to be experiencing symptoms in order to be tested. Patients are encouraged to bring a photo ID, but ID is not required to be tested. Registration will also be completed on site. Testing is currently available until tomorrow the 14th at the HIP Center, located at 224 East 4th Street in Hazleton, from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Here's a reminder to Pennsylvania voters that the deadline to apply to vote by mail for the 2022 primary election is Tuesday, May 10th at 5 p.m. On Tuesday, May 17th, PA voters will select their party's nominees for the U.S. Senate and House of Representatives, governor, lieutenant governor, all state House seats, state Senate seats in even-numbered districts, and Democratic and Republican state committee. Any eligible PA voter can request a mail-in ballot online or download and print an application from the Department of State's website. County boards of election offices must receive all completed mail ballots, whether mail-in or absentee, by 8 p.m. on Election Day. Mail ballots received after that time, even if postmarked by 8 p.m. on the 17th, will not count. PennDOT seeking the public's feedback on winter services through an online survey. The 17-question survey asks respondents about their timeline expectations for safe and passable roadways, how they rank snow removal priorities, and how they rate PennDOT's winter services. Respondents will also be asked how they receive PennDOT roadway information and whether or how they use the state's 511 PA Traveler Information Services. The survey will be available through April 29th and should take about 5 minutes to complete. All responses are completely anonymous and can be submitted at surveymonkey.com. Coming up on Humboldt's News Choice, we learn about nurse practitioners on this Wellness Wednesday, plus Leading the Way, Part 3. And stay with us for everything else we have lined up for you later tonight on WYLN TV.
Membership opportunities are now available at the Valley Country Club, 79 Country Club Lane in Sugarloaf. Clubhouse upgrades are in progress and will be ready for the spring. Call Frank Radis for details at 570-233-5328.
TJ's Chimney Service professional and complete chimney service cleans, rebuilds stainless steel liners, custom concrete poured chimney crowns, fully licensed and insured, all work guaranteed. Roofing services also available. Call 570-861-0027.
Visit Clearfield County and enjoy the many flavors offered throughout their Lumberjack Tasting Trail. That includes a variety of breweries, distilleries, and wineries.
Sponsored by visitclearfieldcounty.org.
That's visitclearfieldcounty.org.
Visit all 16 locations and enjoy free tasting or purchase their Lumberjack special.
Don't forget to get your passport stamped at each location and earn your free t-shirt or hat for completing this wicked awesome trail.
Go to visitclearfieldcounty.org for more information.
That's visitclearfieldcounty.org.
Hey! Did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network.
Penn State Hazleton is improving the lives of others, starting in our community.
Providing degrees that meet the needs of the area.
Fueling entrepreneurship and contributing more than $36 million annually to the state's economy.
Researching the health of our local ecosystem on the Susquehanna River.
Together, our impact keeps growing, backed by the strength of 24 campuses and 700,000 alumni.
Abby is still perfecting her sidekick, and her jab is just for show. But for Abby, this is a remarkable day, because Abby recently defeated a real foe, cancer, when she partnered with Lehigh Valley Riley Children's Hospital, a children's hospital close to home with more than 30 pediatric specialties. Take a bow, Abby. You deserve it. Lehigh Valley Riley Children's Hospital. Your health deserves a partner.
Did you know that WYLN News provides news updates every weekday afternoon
At 1, 3, and 5 here on TV and on social media?
Did you also know you can watch WYLN News on the go by visiting our website or YouTube page?
Now more than ever,
WYLN is your local news leader.
And welcome to another Wellness Wednesday. Thanks to our friends over at Lehigh Valley Health Network. I'm Julia Wiegand, and today we are on location at the Desson Center with Shanna, who is a nurse practitioner. First of all, how are you doing, Shanna?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Of course, and not too bad. So today, Shanna's going to be diving into what her job entails as a nurse practitioner. So I guess we'll start with the what. What is a nurse practitioner?
A nurse practitioner can assess, diagnose, plan treatments, and prescribe for patients, just as well as doctors can. We, at minimum, have a master's degree. They can go on to get a doctorate degree, but they do not, as a nurse practitioner with a doctorate degree, you don't become a doctor. As a medical doctor, you become a doctorate in nursing. So it's much different, because sometimes people ask us, why don't you just become a doctor? But it's different.
And with that, I know a lot of people sometimes maybe confuse a nurse practitioner and a PA. So could we talk about those differences as well between those two professions?
Yes, PAs and nurse practitioners both have master's degrees as well. We can both prescribe, diagnose, and assess the patient equally. They focus more on the medical model. Nurses focus more on the nursing model. So we look at the patient as a whole, and they kind of focus on the disease process.
Now, take us through like a day-to-day as a nurse practitioner. What are your duties for the day usually?
I usually come in, get my charts ready, research my patients' histories, think about what I'm going to do before I meet them, and start the day with a full caseload.
Now, what is a message that you would like to tell either future patients or our viewers and our audience about the benefits of working with a nurse practitioner and or the almost the pull, the why. Like, why would someone want to work with a nurse practitioner, the comfortability levels and things of that nature?
Nurse practitioners have more bedside manner. We're used to working alongside the patient, comforting them at, not so great times. And now we can just prescribe and follow through with the process.
So what is a message that, almost like the big takeaway about today, about being a nurse practitioner, about maybe you personally being a nurse practitioner, a message to our viewers or even just like patients or future patients?
That we are educated and we can treat patients appropriately and prescribe and order medications effectively.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Shanna, for squeezing us in today to talk a little bit about what a nurse practitioner does.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you, everybody watching out there. We'll see you next time on Wellness Wednesday here on Wyln TV.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
Have you ever experienced that super pushy salesperson who follows you all around? Not here.
Or wandered around that big box store looking for help in the appliance department, only to find the pink guy? Not here.
And we have an experienced, courteous sales staff here to help you find the perfect mattress, piece of furniture, or appliance with no pressure.
And don't forget, everyday low prices.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Chura's Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in 610 North Broad Street, West Hazleton, 570-454-7229.
We all need a midweek pick-me-up, and WYLN TV 35 is your home for good news on Wednesdays. All our good news stories will be printed in the WYLN TV Pennies Classified Good News Bulletin, distributed throughout the community and digitally posted on WYLN News Facebook page and on our website. If you have good news to share, contact us to be featured in our special Good News edition. Good events, good people, good jobs, all good news.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969.
Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the midday WYLN News update, posted between noon and 2 p.m. Tomorrow's care starts today with Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, your ER partner.
WYLN's going behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. So, Eileen Perchak's leading the way again into part 3 of this week's series.
And welcome back to this week's Leading the Way with Eileen Perchak from SAFE. So, for those who may not know what SAFE is, can you tell us a little bit about what SAFE stands for and just what the mission of SAFE is?
Absolutely. SAFE stands for Supporting Autism Families Everywhere, and our mission is really simple. It is to support and empower people and their families affected by autism spectrum disorders. We want an inclusive community. We want anybody with autism out in the communities, their families, because they're entitled to that just as we are.
And what activities do you guys do? What's some of the work that you guys do?
We have tons of programs for our kids. We have one-on-one swim programs. We have one-on-one music programs. We are currently working on an adult socialization program. We do swimming. We go snow tubing. We go camping every year. We are privately funded. All of our efforts are done by grant writing, fundraising, the generosity of the community, and private donations.
What are some of your favorites?
Oh, that's a hard one. We do 4 times a summer, we go to Montage and we rent the park out for a couple hours privately so that the families don't have to wait in line, or, it gets awkward sometimes. So I love that. I love our overnight camping every year, which is fantastic, because that camping for a lot of our families is their family vacation. They can go there and not worry if a kid has a meltdown, or, if they're stemming or whatever their issue is. They all get a private cabin. We have a dance party. We do s'mores. They get to go swimming and zip lining and rock climbing, and that's awesome to see. We've had families come up to us in tears that say, if it wasn't for this, they would never go on a vacation. And so that's probably my all-time favorite one. But just watching the kids make friends and maintain their friendships really kind of warms my heart.
Yeah, well, it sounds like fun.
It is.
All right, folks. We will continue tomorrow as we lead our way into part 4 of this segment. Thank you. Good night.
And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page, YouTube page, or at WYLNTV.com. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.